And hello there, folks. This is Uncle Troy checking out the new computer. Basically, if you can see this, that means the Logitech C510 HD webcam is up and running. Woohoo! If you can hear this, that means the Logitech G330 gaming headset is working. Woohoo! And if I can edit this, that means the editing software has been installed correctly. And assuming you see this, that means I've managed to actually upload it to YouTube, because that means I've got the cable modem working again. So there's been several hang-ups. The plan was, since I was relegating the old computer to be a media server, that basically I would get it set up, get everything running, all the services running, and then leave it alone. In fact, I didn't even buy a second keyboard and mouse for the new computer. I said I'll just move from the old computer over to the new computer, because once I get it set up as a media server, which is doing the job of anyway, the old computer wouldn't need a keyboard and mouse anymore. In fact, the only reason I have a monitor is so I can turn it on every so often and make sure the old computer is still running. So rather than, say, copy all the files to a little thumb drive of some sort, and these with the built-in, so you don't need a little cap to go on it, best thing ever. Anyway, so I wouldn't need a whole lot of these or a whole lot of blank CDs or DVDs to copy the stuff over. I said, well, what I'll do is, on the old computer, I'll just set drive C, D, E, F, G, H, and I. That's how many hard drive partitions I have on the old computer. Over 3, maybe 4. Yeah, I think it's 4 different physical hard drives. So 7 partitions, 8 partitions on 4 hard drives. I'll just set all those to shared, I think is what it's called, and we will just allow any user to copy files from those hard drives. And all I have to do is, any file I need on the new computer, I can just find it on the old computer through the network, copy it over. Well, apparently Windows doesn't like you doing that. It may be because I'm using Windows Vista on the old computer and Windows 7 on the new computer over here. By the way, the old computer is right over here, new computer is right over here. That's why I keep pointing back and forth. Maybe because it's Windows Vista and this is Windows 7, they're not talking to each other properly. Maybe I didn't set up the sharing properly. But some drives I can copy any file I want. Some I can actually delete files, even though I told it only to read only. Go figure. But for the most part, most of it copies, except for a few vital, important directories, such, for example, the downloads directory, where I put all the files I downloaded in anticipation of getting the new computer. So those are in a folder that Windows will not let me open from the new computer, so I have to go back to the old computer. And I've actually got it set up now. Well, I was about to show you, but I can't show you because there's no way to show you the screens here without rearranging everything and getting the camera all messed up again. But right now I've got the 2 computers running off 1 mouse and 1 keyboard with a program called Synergy. I'll put a link down below if I remember it. I was going to use Mouse Without Borders, but I couldn't get Mouse Without Borders, which is an official Microsoft product, mind you, to work between the Windows Vista and the Windows 7 machines. Some kind of firewall incompatibility. So, and of course, click here to solve the problem. The problem is, couldn't get past the firewall. Try again later. So that didn't work. But so basically, I've been getting on the old computer, copying files from one directory to another that it can see, copying them over. Some I can't copy. Well, let's this way. I can copy files all day. Some files, no matter where I copy them to, Windows 7 computer cannot see them on the Windows Vista computer. They simply do not appear. If I do a directory, show system files, show hidden files, show files that you don't know the extensions for, they still don't show up. It's like the files don't exist. Copy star.star. Still, they don't copy. I don't know what it is. So those I will have to actually put on, one of these. And the other thing slowing me down is that, this is hilarious. Okay, so several years ago we moved into the new house and we got cable internet for the first time. And actually I've got the original cable modem right here. Yeah, here we are. This is the old original cable modem. And on the back here, of course, you can, you've got the cable in, power adapter goes up here, and here's a network cable that goes to your computer or to your router or hub or whatever. And they let me keep this because apparently they don't need it back because they don't work anymore. I rented this thing for years and years and years. I always meant to go out and buy one. But the nasty rumor is that my cable company will encourage you to buy your own modem, and then every year or so they will send out a update which will brick any modems that weren't bought from them. So go figure. Anyway, so I got another one just like this, except it's black. That's the newer model that we've been using, and ever since we got it, it's been problems occasionally. About once a day I'd lose internet connectivity, maybe for a few seconds, maybe for a few minutes, sometimes long enough that I would give up and go off and watch TV or something instead of surfing on the internet. But here the last few weeks it's gotten really, really bad. Basically I can't play online games without a problem. Skype conversations get cut off. I think I've edited most of those out of my videos, but you may have seen a few of them. Just I kept them in there where I thought they were funny. So I was getting tired of it, but I wasn't calling my cable company because I'd seen a lot of cabled trucks, vans, big bucket lift trucks and whatnot with my cable company's name on the sides working in the area. And I get phone calls from the cable company saying, hey, we're updating the service in your area. Try out our new voice, phone service, basically phone through the internet, and getting letters saying we've upgraded service in your area. Now try out our new voice service, phone service. And of course my response to this is always, look, the internet goes out a couple times a day, sometimes for an hour, but you want me to get rid of my regular plain old phone service and install your cable phone, which runs off the same internet service. So, but of course, then they try to tell me that no, the cable phone service is completely separate from the cable internet service, and just because your cable internet goes out several times a day doesn't mean your cable phone will go out. And just because your cable TV goes out doesn't mean your cable phone will go out. But so, because I was seeing, getting these letters saying they're updating the service, and I was seeing the trucks out in the neighborhood, I didn't bother call to report that the last couple of weeks the cable modem has been down more than up. It's just been ridiculous. Can't hardly get any work done online. Because in the past I'd been told, in fact I was told this just yesterday, that if there's a known outage in the area, or they're doing service which would require the internet service to come down, putting in a new line, changing out a switch, a hub, whatever, any calls for service, out to an individual household that come in during that time will, one, they can't assign it to a tech because all the techs are out replacing the lines or fixing the problem or putting in the new hub or whatever. Two, any trouble tickets entered in during that service time will be assumed to be caused by the service that they're doing. So any trouble tickets open during that time, once they got the service back up, they will close the tickets as resolved, even if that wasn't the problem. So your 2-year-old pulls the cable out of the wall and breaks the modem at the same time they're putting in a new switch 2 cities away, and you call in and say my internet's down, they'll say it's fixed when they replace that switch 2 cities away. And yes, that's happened to me. So because of all that, I waited a few weeks of bad internet service going up, down, up, down, up, down, until I actually called the cable company to say, when is this going to be fixed? And they said, well, we don't have any outages in your area. What's your account number again? I told them. I said, well, according to this, your internet has been down quite a bit. Yeah, your modem's not responding even right now. And I said, that's correct. Your cable TV is working. Cable TV is working fine. Well, let me send a reset signal to your modem. Well, nope, reset signal didn't get through. And I said, okay, so it's what? It's a problem with your modem? He says, yes. Do you have another modem you can try? Well, I've got this old one. That's why I've got it handy here. But this is an old DOCSIS 2 modem or something, and now you need a DOCSIS 3 modem, something like that. So that didn't work. Throw that away. So they suggested, since basically above my head here where the cable TV comes in and gets split to go to the various places we have television around the house, and of course to the computer here for the cable modem, looks like a couple of friendly octopuses up there. In fact, if I was scared of sea creatures, I would not want to be under here because it looks like the giant spaghetti monster is about to attack me. So their suggestion was to get up there in that collection of wires and disconnect the wire where it first comes into the house and hook it straight into the modem and see if that made a difference. And actually it did. I immediately got a signal. It worked for a couple hours, no problem. So we decided, okay, maybe it's a problem with the splitter or the wiring. So I didn't want to try to replace the splitter because it's bolted to the wall. Why they did that, I don't know. And I couldn't get to it with the wrench to get the bolt loose. I mean, technically it's a little bitty screw, but the screw slot is wore out, so you have to like clamp onto it with a pair of pliers. It's complicated. And yeah, I'm pointing up to it. I don't know why, because y'all can't see it. But anyway, so I traced the wire, figured maybe it's a problem with the wire, and I started trying to pull the wire out from behind the computer table where it went down, and it wouldn't come out. So I went down under the table, which I had not done in years, to find the wire, and found out that the wire, and I swear I didn't do this, the guy who originally installed the cable for us, the contractor from the cable company, must have been the one to do it, actually went down and was wrapped about 4 times around a metal table leg and then tied in a knot. And there were also electrical wires and whatnot running parallel to it. That's my fault, because I'd run wires down the table leg. So once I unwrapped the cable and untied the knot and pulled the cable out and just strung it across the room and back so it wasn't tangled up with all the electrical wires and, around the tied around the metal table leg, suddenly I've got a good signal. In fact, it's went down once for about 5 seconds since I did that yesterday about this time at night. So I'm going to say it's fixed. So now I just have to find a new place to put my cable modem where it's like off to the side and the wires aren't wrapped around something else. And that's a very long story to say that I think I fixed my internet and I should be able to upload videos, but we shall see. So in the meantime, I'm still, like I said, installing stuff into the new computer, copying stuff over, reassigning hardware from the old computer to the new computer, and generally just taking up my last couple days off, and it's about time to go back to work for another week. So you may or may not see videos from me in any regular schedule in the near future. Want to apologize for that in advance. And I'm just going to sit here and watch the little modem lights blink, because I'm just so happy that they're blinking the way they're supposed to and not blink, blink, blink like I've lost signal. Okay, so Uncle Troy signing out. Please have a good night.